gorgeous Gray Movement friends, women. I'm so excited that we have another interview for you. And today's guest is, I'm just gonna follow her Instagram here. So you guys, is Jules. Okay. So hi, Jules. Nice to meet you and connect.
Yes, so happy to be here.
She's from California, where it's nice and warm right now, I hope for you. So you guys can follow her. I'm going to give you some information on who she is. So you can go to her Instagram, and she's just new to technology. So give her some grace, because we've all started at the same place with Jules. She's starting her hair dye journey and her social media journey at the same time. And I love it. I love it. So she's plant-based foodie. She loves home decor. She loves travel, fashion, and she's going to be on her Instagram documenting this beautiful journey. And I love the fact that, like, look at the length of her hair, and you're going to get her for a good, if she, she keeps that length, a good four years, probably 3-4 years, you'll get to see her beautiful journey and her transformation. And so her Insta handle is joyful with FUL, so full, heart, and then Jules. And we will make sure to tag it in this video so you guys can find her easily and you can follow her journey. So thank you and welcome again. I just saw her come up, and I'm like, whenever I get inspired by someone's profile, I'm like, reach out. I want to interview you. And she said yes. She jumped right over it. So let's dive in with the first question. Always the first question that I love to ask, because it's always on the viewer's mind, is why did you decide, at your age and your beautiful long hair, to stop dyeing? What is your story behind that, Jules?
Oh yes, so it's a story, all right. Well, I wish it was a better story. It's kind of one of these just weird things, but there's a lot of details in it. And it's that let me back up to COVID, right? The pandemic, when I know a lot of the women who dye their hair know that there was a shortage of hair dye. I don't know if it was that way where you live, but it was here. And during the pandemic, there was this big thing with, hey, you better order your hair dye now. You better get it to do your root touch-ups, because we are running out of hair color. It's on a short list of supply. And I literally, at that point in time, 18 months ago, when I was never in the world thinking about showing this white hair that I knew I had, but nobody else knew that I had, because I literally covered it like a crazy woman. Like I think most people that are in the same position. I had the root touch-up spray. I had the it looks like powder. I had everything, because if my hair was up in a bun, whatever I was doing, I did not want anyone to see a single white hair. I was literally crazy lady. Nobody could know my deepest, darkest skeleton in the closet. I was too young for anybody to know. I would be judged, right? So long story short, during COVID, should have been that time that I did it. But at that time, I wasn't even in that place in my mind. And I was so scared. I had a panic attack, literally, that the dye was running out. And I didn't care if I was at home or not, wearing masks and going out into society as little as possible as we were all on lockdown. I still had to color my hair. And if that meant I had to pick another color because I couldn't find my color, I would do whatever I had to. Nobody would know. So just so you can under the backstory of how crazy I was, guys. Like, I can't even tell you how crazy. So fast forward 15 weeks ago. So 18 months, pandemic come and gone, colored that hair, bought all my dye, did it all on my own. Nobody knew. Okay. 15 weeks ago, this Monday, today, I was laying in bed and I woke up and I just decided I don't want to do it anymore. There was no real reason. I didn't have a bad experience. My hairdresser is always available. It was just something spoke to me in my sleep, a dream. I don't know. I woke up and I decided this is it. I don't want to do it. But what is wrong with you? What are you thinking? Are you crazy? Are you losing your mind? Are you going through a midlife crisis? I'm 43 years old, so I'm still young, in my opinion, right? And too young to show it, right? I pride myself on putting my face forward and wearing my lipstick and doing my makeup and wearing my clothes. I was raised that way, right? You come out of the house looking your best always. I was in that world of makeup and hair and clothes, and it's all very important on how you place yourself into the world, right? So it's been indoctrinated into me since I was a tiny child. So I woke up and decided I don't want to do it anymore. And the chemicals, what is it doing to my brain and to my skin and to my body? I didn't know any of that. But I knew it had to be bad. I really didn't want to research it or look into it because I knew that that would be the, right there, the end all. But the money, the time, the energy, the absolute emotional energy on hiding something, literally a skeleton in the closet, and spending, for someone like me with you, the same color, light silver white hair, right? The time that you have to cover it, going to the hair salon, I would go every 2 weeks to get it colored. And even after she colored it, I still wasn't happy because those silvers or those whites were still, I was so bad that I would come home from getting it dyed after 2 weeks, and I would literally still have to spray the root touch up on the top of my hair because I could still see it through the color. The dye wasn't even covering it anymore. So long story short, I know a lot of women can relate to that because now I'm hearing from this, social media and all this support that, oh my gosh, I'm not alone. There's so many people. It's the exact same story, covering it every 2 to 3 weeks, the root touch up. Anyway, so that's where I decided, right? Next thing was pray about it because you might be going crazy, right? So I prayed about it. God, I'm just asking you to show me that I am not going crazy. Just one sign, something that I should do this and not be in turmoil over it and not be afraid and be, just do it, right? Because if you do it, you're going to do it, you're not going to do it and be hasty about it. You're going to go full throttle. So I pray, God, just please show me a sign that I'm not losing my mind. I'm not going through some kind of crisis right now. And I went for a walk down the trail near my neighborhood, and I meet this guy, same day that I woke up and said, God, show me a sign. This guy who's about 50 years old, but looks like he's 35, good looking, tall, handsome, with white as white can be, full head of hair. And I'm thinking, oh dear God, you're a funny one. All right. Yeah, I know I have a sense of humor, but really, I didn't ask for you to show me a guy. I asked for a sign. It would really be nice if you could show me a woman, So but it was a sign, and I took it. I end up making friends with this guy, as I do with everybody. I don't know. It's my life story. I start talking and I become friends with everybody. So he notices my dog. He knows what kind of dog I have. Nobody ever knows my dog. So we hit it off. He's a sheepadoodle. He's part sheepdog and part poodle. Most people can't get that right. And he knew that. So it was like, oh, wow. How'd you know? So we start talking. Long story short, I invite him to my family game night at my house 3 nights later. It's on a Saturday. Hey, you should come with your wife. You guys live here in the same city. I've never seen you on this trail. We get to know each other. I say, come on over and come to family game night. He shows up at my door 3 nights later. I don't know if he's a mass murderer, if it's real that he has a wife. I don't know anything, right? I'm prepared for it all. And there shows up this man at my front door with his wife, with the most beautiful silver hair, long like mine, even longer, that I have ever seen. Chills. We didn't talk about his wife or what color hair she had. And we didn't talk on the trail, as I had a hat on, that, hey, I'm going through this whole transition thing. And it's weird that I didn't want to tell this guy all this. Like, who cares? Guys don't care about that. We just talk stocks and bonds, actually, on the whole trail walk, stocks and bonds. He was going to teach me how to do stocks and bonds. I really want to know how. So anyway, there's his wife at the door, the most gorgeous looking woman I've ever seen, with silver hair. And I am literally about to faint. And I knew this was it. There is no turning back. I was 3 days into this. Should I or should I not? And that was it. And now I'm on this journey, and today's 15 weeks later.
Oh my gosh, that is such a beautiful story. And I love that you prayed for it and that you were open to a sign, and you got like 2 signs. Not only it was like 1, but 2. And it was almost like the cherry on the top when the wife showed up. So I love that. That is so beautiful. So thank you for sharing that story. And
Absolutely.
I'm assuming, based on the way that you're just doing cold turkey, right? Like,
Yep.
you're just like, bring it on, God. This is what I've,
Yep.
been given. How did you know that cold turkey was right for you? Did you just know intuitively? Because there's many different ways to attempt it, like bleach it. Like, I ended up bleaching it out, which I regretted so much because I destroyed my long, beautiful hair. That's one of the reasons actually why I ended up having to cut it off, because I bleached it so much that it actually felt like hay. Like I literally had destroyed my hair. So I was like, don't do that, women, if you're doing it, because you will wreck your beautiful hair, is the bleaching.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually didn't know cold turkey or not right away. I turned to social media, and that's where I now started the social media account, right? Because I started it so that I could have a place for support, but also where I could look to other women that are inspiring and helping me stick to what I really want to do. And in that transition of, am I going to go bleach it? Am I going to make them dye it silver? Am I going to cut it? Am I going to shave my head? What am I going to do? Doing all this research and following all these lovely women like yourself, I I looked into, there's a colorist where I live, and he specializes in making your hair white or silver, whatever its natural color is, but for a pretty penny. And I wasn't willing to spend that pretty penny for nothing. So it was knowing the price of how much it would cost to make it the way I would want it without having to go through the long, tedious journey. I wanted that for the simple fact that I wanted to be able to remember the girl who likes to put her face on and feel very kept and not unkept, all those things and all those stigmas and all the things that society say we should be. That was why I wanted to pay the money to do it. But when I realized how much money it was, I realized I found the beauty in A, saving my money, and B, it's not a one and done. You have to go and tone it, and then you have to do this, and there's all these things you have to go back every month for. So it wasn't just going to be this astronomical large price tag once and then done. It was continue the damage to the hair. Like you said, I just started researching. And then I just thought, the beauty in this is that I get to see what its own natural hues and tones and what it's going to take on, right? On its own, without covering it all up and not knowing. And I get to see that journey, be a part of that journey. And so I decided I'm going to go cold turkey. However, in the very beginning, I'm 15 weeks in. So you guys probably still think I'm in the beginning, but for me, it feels like I'm so far in. But in the very beginning, meaning 4 to 6 weeks, I was still spraying the root touch up on top when I would go out of the house. So nobody knew. And it wasn't until about probably 4 weeks ago that I pretty much was spraying so much on it. It was just gross. I would have to wash it every day. I was like, this is so stupid. I'm spraying it it's just gross. I'm done. This is done. So I just kind of hit a wall 4 weeks ago, washed it and said, okay, God, here I go. I'm going to get the looks. And now that's it. I'll tell you, yesterday was the first day that I saw new people that haven't seen me since last Christmas. Okay. At a Christmas party. And every single person, and I know a lot of women can identify with this, that don't know what I'm going through or what I'm doing, are looking me in the eye as we're talking, and they're constantly looking up at my head and then looking up, and they were full on conversations. And I'm just thinking, what? Just ask, just say something, because I don't need to explain. I don't want to go around to every single person I see and say, oh, I see you're looking at my hair. Hey, I'm transitioning. This is my natural color, right? I don't feel the need to do that. I'm owning it. Some days I wear headbands. Some days I wear a barrette. You can see on my Instagram some of the pictures that I've been, putting out there. I wear it different ways. When it's up in a bun with a scrunchie, it looks all white and like I'm good to go. It's there's all these different. So it's kind of funny, but nobody's asked yet. Nobody has said anything. They're just looking at me, talking and looking up, and talking and looking up, and I don't know.
I know it seems so normal, and especially for women. Like I find, I remember going to my first party, and I was about 4 months in, and like I'm in at this event. I'm a guest speaker, and they're all women that are dolled up to the nines, like just like rocking the everything.
Yep.
And they all, and I'm like, okay, elephant in the room. I had to, because I was like, oh my gosh, I could feel them, and I'm like, yes, I'm allowing it to come in. But I hear what you're saying. We shouldn't have to explain ourselves, but sometimes when it's like, right? It's like, oh my gosh, but that's awesome. Yeah. And do you find that there's almost like this, I don't know, new power? It's almost like a superpower that you have, that you've made this decision. You're coming out of the closet and you're like, this is me, like freedom.
That's it. I don't know. I've always been super happy. I'm always super joyful. That's just always been my spirit. But I don't know. There's just something so freeing, and so it's just such an emotional thing. Like I could literally, I spent so many years, and I know so many people can understand that, thinking that that's the only way, and that's the only beauty. And to get to this point in my life now at 43, right? And realize that that's not the only way. And to also know that I am so joyful and happy with this decision. And I wish I would have done it a long time ago. I wish a long time ago I would have stopped caring about, what people think. and what society deems as beautiful, because honestly, this is beautiful. And it's just amazing. It's just, sorry, I didn't mean to get emotional,
Oh
but
my gosh, that was beautiful. You gave me goosebumps. I think your story is going to relate to so many women. And I think you closed it off so perfectly, which is I wish I would have done it sooner. I wish I wouldn't have let so many other people dictate what beauty is and not. But the cool thing is we as women now get to dictate what beauty looks like for us, right?
yes, yes,
Whatever that shows up for you, makeup, no makeup, hair curled, straight, short, long, whatever color. And I love this movement. And I'm so glad that you're part of this movement because our community is so incredible and there's so much love here. And I think, you know, we are redefining beauty for the next generation of women and beyond. Like that's how big the
yes,
movement is. And you're like, yes,
yes,
yes.
yes.
Yeah, like
If
we're
this can
warriors in
stop
that way.
Yeah, if it can stop other girls that are younger
Yeah,
that are going through this and so
yeah.
afraid, and it can start that movement of, own it and be who you are. And it's just, it's amazing. I got to tell you, after I cut the 8 inches off about 2 weeks ago, I went in and I told my hairdresser, just cut it off 8 inches because it was really long. And so she cut it off and she's like, I'm just so proud of you. Most women want to hang on to it. And then she flat ironed it because my hair is naturally curly like yours, not
Yeah.
ringlet curls, but that
Yeah.
natural.
Yeah. On this side, I only put a few curls here, guys, but my
Well,
natural is like the
yeah,
ringlets at the back, right?
yeah,
Wavy.
exactly.
Yeah.
So mine's like that when I wear it up and take it down. Right now,
Mhm.
I brushed it really good, and so it's not straight, and I don't flat iron it because I'm trying
Yeah.
to protect it and not do the
Yeah.
heat and all that. But
Mhm.
anyhow, I she had just cut 8 inches and she flat ironed it, and it was super stick straight. And I was like, don't do too much flat iron because I don't want to damage my hair. I'm trying to really get it healthy.
Mhm.
And I went into the grocery store right after to go pick up a couple of things right next door. And I had 3 different women on 3 different aisles as I was passing by to go get my milk or whatever it is I was in there for, bread. And, oh, your hair's so pretty. Another, oh, I love your hair. I had never even been told that on a hair day when it was covered. It's so crazy. So I'm like, I don't know. Wow, this is incredible. So I
I
think what it
love
is,
it.
women are seeing it and
Yeah.
realizing it, and they want to do it too.
Yeah.
And they realize that it's beautiful, and it's like, huh, I can do that too.
Yeah,
You
you're
know?
giving permission for other women. So you're the role model and you'll end up as you go into this journey of people over time will be, it was because of you. It was because of you. So you're going to have a lot of, it was because of you. So I'm going to wrap this interview up, but I just want to say thank you so much for joining. This story is going to resonate, I think, to so many women. I think so many women can relate to the crazy woman, the crazy, like, oh my God. And the fact that you got to a point where it's like, it doesn't matter anymore. This is who I am. And you're going to define your own beauty, which is great. And I just, for the women that are watching, follow Joyful Heart Jules so you can see
It's a
her
lot.
beautiful journey, right? Oh my gosh, so good. And then I would say, if you want more of these interviews, make sure that you go to the YouTube channel, Gorgeous Gray Movement, so you can watch and hear more of the other stories of women that you will resonate with. And if you're looking for a basic guide and the different steps that I looked into when I was researching this 3 years ago, you can go to my website, nicolescott.ca. And I have a free resources section where you can go and get a free guide so that I'm saving you a little bit of the research on that journey. So again, thank you so much, Jules, for joining. Thank you, ladies, for watching. Until next time.
Bye. Thank you so much.